Welcome to Javaism, and in this video we are going to talk about reflection API. So reflection API is also one of the very important topics in Java. Okay, so we can discuss what is the reflection API and what are the operations we can perform with the help of the reflection API and what is the benefit for the developer we can get. All those things we can discuss in this video in the very depth. Okay, so let's start now. So basically the reflection API, let me open my ledger. Okay, ledger pointer. So the reflection API in Java allow you to inspect and manipulate the classes, method, field, constructor and other components of the Java program at a runtime. Not compile time, at a runtime. So this is the particular useful for the task like creating an instance of the classes, dynamically invoking the method dynamically, and accessing fields that are otherwise inaccessible. Okay, so whatever the things we are going to do, those are the runtime. And runtime we can modify the class name, method name, constructor, we can create a class, we can read the field, we can read the constructor, each and everything. Okay, let's see the 3 points. It's provide a way to introspect the internal details of the classes object even if you don't have access to their source code. Listen, if you don't have access of the source code also, you are able to read those classes, interface, methods, everything. Okay, reflection is used in the scenario where you need to build more flexible and dynamic application such as a framework, library and tools. If you want to build any application such as a framework, library and tools, that time it's a very benefit reflection API that work with the unknown or pre-provided classes also, user provided classes also. However, it is important to note that using the reflection API can have the performance implication. That is the one issue we have. Okay, so if you are working with the reflection API, definitely you can face one issue, which is basically the performance or security. Okay, so if you are using the reflection API, might be you get some performance issue, or also the safety, whatever the type safety you can say, whatever the security vulnerability. Okay, and it's not provide the fully security if not used carefully. So you have to keep those 3 things in your mind based on the performance, security leak, or what is the type safe, and then after you can design your reflection API so that in the future you can't face any issue. Okay, so be careful, okay, while doing work with the reflection API. Okay, and that is good. Sometimes it's a mind blowing, it will do the work and you can easily do everything. Okay, let's start now. Okay, so basically I'm going to the next slide, but in the next slide we can see like how we can exactly do the work. So if you see my slide, let me go down here. Okay, so if you see my slides, I have written one class which is simple classes, my class, public, void, say hello, one method I have created one my classes, and here I have written some of the properties. Okay, so public class, reflections, examples and each and everything. Okay, so in the same way I'm going to create one class. Okay, and slowly we can discuss each and everything about it. Okay, so what is our process is like we don't want to create. So in this example, reflection API is used to create an instance of the my class which is available here and invoke its say hello method without having to know the class details at the compile time. We don't have a compile time details, but still we are able to call this method internally. Okay, how? Let's see. So what we are going to do is we are going to design one class. In this class we can read with the class name we can create we can get the details of the constructor. With the constructor we can create one object. Okay, let's do it. So let's create one class. So this is the main methods I'm going to write here. Okay, let me write the main methods here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more class. Okay, and I will give the name of the class is like my class. Okay, and my class name I have given, and inside this class I'm going to write one constructor which is public my class. Okay, and one more method I will write here, publics void say hello. Okay, and inside the methods I will write hello users. Hello users. Okay, thanks. This is the message I have printed. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to access this my class inside the test.java, but not directly I am going to create a object. I am going to create a object with the help of the reflection API. Okay, so reflection API will provide some of the things which we have to discuss here. For example, I have to create a my class object. So with the help of class name only I will create the class object. Okay, if I try to assign here it's not giving me assignment. So what I can do is I can store this in a class. So class type we have a one class, and this class is capable to store the class details basically. Okay, and which class details it will store, which class name we have given here, which is my class. Okay, let me give it my class. So this class details having a my details class details, right? I have written my class, so it will give me the whole details about this my class and which details I have stored inside the class details, right? And after that what I can do is for creating a object definitely I need a constructor. So from the class details I will read my constructor. So I will call get constructor. Okay, get constructor we can call this one without parameters, and it will give me one constructor. Those constructor I will easily store, but while storing it's throwing one error. So I'm going to throw error here, throw exception which is parent throws. Okay, exception. So once I throw the exception, whatever the exceptions will come it will handle automatically. So I don't want to write anything. Okay, so I have to store this argument type. Okay, fine. So I have a store inside the constructors. Let me store it. Okay, so it's a store class details dot constructor I have called. So he will give one constructor which is type my class, and those I have stored inside the constructor. After that what I can do is I am going to create a new object with the help of the constructor. So I got constructor, so I will tell hey constructors. Okay, my language is changed, let me change it. Okay, so here I have to change English United States or English India. Okay, anything, and again I will move to my Eclipse. Okay, now what I will write it, I will write here constructors. Okay, I have a constructor and new instance I will call. So new instance will take some argument, otherwise if you don't have, you don't want to pass it, and it will return one class which is new instance of my class. Clear? Clear. So my class object is created now. Now I have to call my methods. I don't have an idea about the method name, so what I can do is I know the method name. Okay, so with the help of the method I can read the methods. Okay, so what I can do is I will write here what I will write. So I have a class details. Okay, so with the help of the class details, okay, so here let me write some comment here. Read all class details. Read the constructor details. Okay, create new object with constructors. And now what I'm going to do is read method details. So we have a class details, so I'm going to take the help of the class details dot get method. Okay, and inside this I will pass my method name simply. So what is my method name? Say hello. Okay, I'm giving you some overview idea like how reflection API will work. Okay, directly I can call also, but I don't want to do like that. And this will return one method. So method is a one class. Once I got the method details, which is say hello, what I can do? I can write method dot, we have a invoke methods. Invoke. So method dot invoke, which one? So I am going to pass one instance. This is new instance. Those you have to invoke it. Simply I have written the code. Okay, so what is the responsibility of this class is to invoke which method? Say hello. And say hello is available in where? Here in my class. Let's see. Okay, so once I run it, you can see the output hello user thanks, which is coming from the say hello method only. Okay, so this is the basic overview I have given to you guys, like understood how reflection API reading the method details, class details, how they are reading the constructor details, method details, parameter details, everything. Okay, let's go to our slide and understand one by one each and everything. So I hope you understood this class and how we are using it also. Okay, so this is the reflections example. Inside this we have created the class, we have created the constructor, we have created the instance. After that we have called the methods. Okay, and this method executed. So what we have done is, in this example, the reflection API is used to create an instance of my class and invoke its say hello method without having to new the class details at compile time. Okay, without having to know the details of the class at compile time. Remember that while reflection can be powerful tools, it's generally recommend to use it in the judiciously, or due to the potential drawback. It can lead a less efficient code, reduce the compile time checks, and harder to maintain it also. Okay, so I hope guys you understood what is the benefits of the reflection API, and with the one code I have explained you how we are using and how we are doing a work with that. Okay guys, so what is the purpose of reflection API, how we can use it, we can understood. Okay, next we can understood some more about it, but one more things I have to explain you. The reflection API is belonging to the reflect package, which is available in java.lang. Okay, and we have a constructor, we have a method like that, classes inbuilt in the JDK. Those we are using to do our operations. Okay, now what I'm going to do next? What I'm going to do next is I'm going to explain each and every operations which we are doing in the reflection API. Okay. For example, here you can see the here overview and use of the Java. Getting a class information. You can get the information about the class using a class. There are several ways to do this. So first way is like you know the class name dot class you can use, and you can get the details of the class. Like just before in the before example I have explained you. Now we are going to use this one, class dot for name, and through that we can load our class with the help of the class name, and then after we can use it. So let's see this example. Then after we can see object dot get class, getting this class from the object. So this is the three way to create an object with the help of the reflection API. Okay, let me go here, and this is the one way which we have discussed just now. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, this is the first way, so I will write a first way. So what we are going to do is here I'm going to write class. So class is not a just class, it's a class. I hope you not understood. Class is just not a class, it's a class. So let me write class java.lang, and this class having a one method called for name. Okay, for name, and I will show you here also having a class dot for name, and just you have to pass your class name here in the double quote as a string. So I have passed my class name, which is my class. That's it, and this will return me one object which is class. So I will put like that. Okay, clear? Here also you can specify my class, no issue, because it's returning the my class object only. Okay, add to the typecast. Okay, I don't want to add typecast here, let it be. Okay, and this is the class details, and with the help of the class details we are adding all those constructors. So they are adding to change the constructor to the constructors. Okay, fine, no issue. And this is the constructors to the new stage, then you have to change it to object. Why? Because they are using the generic. Generic means anything will come, any constructor will come, and any object. So finally we are creating an object which is going to be a object type, and then we are invoking this method. Correct? Correct. So through that we are getting the details, class dot for name, and we are using it. Okay, let's try to run one more times. What is the output? Let's see. So it's giving the like java.lang.class not found exception. Okay, because we are reading the class name, okay, with the help of the class dot for name. So here we have to give the full package name also. So with the class name we have to give in which package your class is available. So our package is com.app and app.myclass. Okay, or class is available, and then after if you run, might be you are not getting the issue. Okay, you can directly get the output, hello user, thanks. Okay, so whenever you are using the class dot for name, use the proper name, which is package or class name also. Okay, that is mandatory. So this is the second way we have loaded the class. Okay, let's talk about the third way. Okay, how we can do with the third way of the reading a class name. Okay, so for that we have to create a object first, which is class. We have to create it. So for example, we have a my class, and we have to create an object. So new my class. Simply I have created the object. Then what can I do? I can write o dot get class. O dot get class will give me a one class details. Okay, and I will store those details inside the class details basically. Okay, and once I store, I will do the same thing. I will do the same thing. Let me run once again. So if you see, the output is same only. Okay, so this is the three type or three way we have loaded the class details and we are using it. Okay guys, so this is the three things. And we have this class which is having a my class and having a method called say hello. Okay, so this is also done and I hope you understood. Okay, so our first part is completed, getting the informations about the classes. Second one is getting the constructor method and fields. So getting a details about the constructor method and fields, we have to use some other method. So once we have a class object, you can access it using the constructor, methods and fields. Okay, so we have a method called get constructors, get methods, get declare fields also, and through that we can get all those details and we can print it. So let's talk about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, in the same class, okay, I'm going to create one more test. Okay, I'm going to write one more test class. So this is the class and I'm going to write a test class. Okay, so test method or constructor, whatever you have. Okay, and inside this I'm going to write the main methods, and inside the main methods what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the class details. So I will write my class dot class. Okay, and those details I will store in one place, which inside the class. Okay, what happened? So let me write class generic, and here I will mention class details equal to my class dot class. Okay, so it will give me details of the class details. Then what can I do? I have to read all those constructor inside those classes. Okay, so for example, in my class having a multiple constructor, let's suppose for example this is the one constructors. I'm going to write one more constructors. Okay, some of having a modifier called private, some having a public, some having a int a comma int b, some constructor having a int a. So this is the different type of the constructors we have inside this. So what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to read all those constructor, okay, with the help of the class details. So what I can do, I can write here class details dot get constructors. So once I call the constructors, it will give me one constructor array. So once I got the constructor array, whatever I want to do, I can do it. So I have to iterate one by one constructor and I have to print the details. Okay, so first I have to create the object of the constructor, okay, which is C, and here I will write constructors. Okay, and through that I can read one by one and I will print all those details which is available inside the constructor. So first name is C dot get name. What is the constructor name? This is the first things. Okay, what is the second things? So second things I can say that, okay, like you can print C dot get modifier or parameter count. So let it be parameter count. Okay, and then after plus I can give plus c dot get modifiers. What is the constructor modifiers also we can print it. Let me run this code and I will show you the output. So once I run this code and I will show you output. So if you see here, com.f.myClass, it's a constructor name. com.f.myClass, this is another constructor name. So I think only two constructors are there, right, in the myClass. 1 2 3. Okay, three constructors. Why it's printing two constructor, I don't know. Okay, but let it be. Okay, so once we print it, you can see here it's printing two constructor only, and the access modifier or parameter. So if you see, the parameter is 1 or 0. Okay, like that we can get all those details of the particular constructors and you can iterate it. If you talk about the methods, so let me talk about the methods. So I have to create some more method inside this. For example, this is the one methods. I think private method it's not reading, so if I make it public, okay, it will do the work. Okay, so let me go here and let me run one more time. So once I run, you can see 3. Okay, and every having some different parameters. Okay, and access modifier also. Okay, so parameter 0 1 or 2, and access modifier is same, which is public 111. Okay, this is the parameter count. Second is, so 0 1 2 we have a parameters, so 0 1 2 like that. Okay, for example, in my class having a multiple method and you want details of the multiple methods, right? So for example, one method having a one parameters, second method having a second parameters, right? It's happened, and I need all those details of those methods. What I can do, simply you can call the class details. So we have a class details, so class details dot get methods. We have a one method called get methods. Once you call this get method, it will return method array, and with the help of the method array you can iterate your methods. Okay, method m or methods. Okay, and then after whatever the details you want to print it, you can print it easily. So let it be s out, and I'm going to print something called what, m dot get method name. Okay, so first of all I have to give here, but I have to change the method name because all method name are same. So say hello get users by id. This is the second methods, and save details. Anything method I have given the name and I have saved it, and here I'm going to print those methods. So get name. So I will print the get name first, then after I will give some space and I will print m dot get parameter count, again plus m dot, what is the parameters type also you can print it, but it will return one array, so might be you can face the issue to print it. Okay, lots of the methods you can get the parameters also, but the parameters will return one array. Okay, so array you have to print inside this, then only you can print it, because in the method having a multiple parameters get return type. Okay, So what is the return type also they will print. What is the method return type? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it some method return type is boolean, and here I will return true, and this one return type is what I can give int, and I will give the return type also. For testing only I am doing, so that you guys can understood, okay, like everything is printing properly or not for that. Okay, so once you print these details, let me print it. So once I printed these details, you can see, oh my god. Okay, so if you see get user by id, this is our method only having a one parameters, and return type is boolean. Save details having a two parameters, return type is integers. Say hello having a zero parameter, return type is void. And whatever the object class having a method which is wait equals to a string, hash code, get class, notify all those methods are printed. Okay, so it will take the parent class method also and it will print. Okay guys, I hope you understood in the better way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print all those declare field. So if you see this class, there is no field inside this, so I'm going to create some of the fields. Okay, int id, okay, a string name, okay, a string email. Okay, this is the details I have printed. Okay, so I'm going to here and I'm going to write a code for that to print the declare variable details. So what we can do, we can take the help of same class details, and class details method dot get declared, okay, get declared field. Okay, once you call the get declare field, it will return one array. Okay, and inside this array having all those field. So in the same way, what we can do, field is a one class. Okay, so f and declare fields. What we can do now, we can print all those details, and here what we can do is, okay, we can print f dot get name, first name only we are reading, and then we can read f dot get name sort object annotations class. Okay, get type. Okay, we can read the get type also. What is the type of it? Okay, this is the two details we need basically, and it's required sometimes. And let me show you. So if I show you, you can see the whatever the like fields we have, which is int id, okay, name, which is java.len.string type, email, a string type. So it will print the type also, like which type of the fields we have declared inside the class, each and every details. So I hope you guys you understood something about this getting constructors method and fields. So this two parts is done with the coding. Now what we can do is we can go and you can see like creating a instance also. So you can create an instance of the class dynamically using a constructors. Okay, so for example, we have a constructor equal to class dot get constructor, and you can give the parameter type. Okay, like what constructors and you can create instance of the class dynamically using constructors also. So you can type the parameter type if it is, otherwise you can get the constructors also. Okay, once you get the constructor, what you can do is you can use this constructor dot new instance, which we have already discussed here. I hope you understood this line of the code. So through that class details dot get constructors we are reading, and through the constructors we are calling the new instance method, and we are creating an object, right? In the same way we can cover this one also, so it's already covered. Create an instance, invoking a methods. So just before I have explained you, like we can call class dot get method, we can pass here our method name, and then after we can method dot invoke, and we can pass our constructor, and through that we can invoke the methods. Okay, so those also I have covered here. Say hello and invoke the methods, it will call automatically. Let's discuss about the access field. So while access field, what we can do is we can take the private field, okay, and those private field we can modify dynamically. Okay, let's do it in the Eclipse so that you can understood in the better way, guys. Okay, so for example, this is one class I have, which is my data. Okay, and my class having a one data, okay, which is private. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read this data dynamically in other classes, and then I will modify this data in other classes only. How is it possible? So let me create one class which is access field test. Okay, access field test. So this is the private class, this is the class, and we have a private data member which is available inside the my class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create here one class which is method, which is main method. Inside this I will create one my class object. Okay, otherwise any way we can create an object. Okay, so for example, if you want to create an object with the help of the class name, so you can write my class dot class, and through that you can get class object. Okay, let me write class and generic, and here we can write class details. Okay, fine. So we got the class finally. What we have to do is, with the help of the class details, we have to face the class fields. Okay, right? And after that what we have to do is, and we need one instance also. So instance is also very important in that. Okay, so let me do one thing. What I am going to do is I have to create a class anyhow. So what I can do is I can create one my class. Okay, instance equal to new my class. Okay, I have created one object, and here I will create the object with the help of instance dot get class. Anyhow you can do it. Okay, so once we got the class details, what we can do is we can use the class details. Okay, dot get declared field. Okay, get declared fields, and we can pass our field name which is available in the my class, which is data. So here I will write data, right? Correct only. Yeah, data, data. So once we give here field name which is data, so it will give one field for us, and we have to throw the exception also. So let me throw. Okay, it's a checked exception, so we have to throw anyhow. And let me store this. So we got one field. Let me give the name called field. What I have to do next? After once we get the field, we have to modify this field, because I can't get the field data directly. it's a private, right? So what I have to, and I don't have any getter setter method here also, okay, in the my class, and I have to read this data. What can I do? So I can write here field dot get, and here I will pass my object which is instance. Okay, so it will give me one object, but those object is nothing but which is what type of the data is available in the my class, a string type. So in the same way it will return a string only. Okay, old data, it's a old data, and here we have to do the typecasting with with the string. Okay, and one more thing, before going to access those data, what we have to do is we have to enable field, field, field for public access. So what we can do, we can write field dot set accessible is true. So by default it's a false if it is private. So what we can do, we can set as a true. Okay, so once we set the true, after that we can read the data. Okay, once we read the data, we can print it. So old data. Okay, I'm going to print this data. So let me run this class. So you can see Java. So in my class I have stored the Java. I will write Java is a sum. Okay, and I will go here and I will run one more times. You can see we are able to read the data, which is private field also. I can modify those data also dynamically. How? Let me modify data. Okay, how? So what we can do is whatever the fields we have, okay, field dot set, we can call the set method, and here we have to pass the instance which is object we have, which is my class object, and here new data you have to pass new hello Java is a sum, and after that once we set the data, those data we can call this same method. Okay, we can call the same method, and here we can write current data, and those current data we can print it. So for this a specific object which is having an instance, okay, for that the data will modify dynamically. Okay, and I hope you can see here. Okay, I hope you can see here hello Java is a sum. So if you want to set, or I hope you know this one, how to create an object and how to get the details of the class. After that, get the details of the field. Once we get the details of the field, we can set as a accessible, okay, true, and then after you can read the old data with the get method and just pass the instance. Again you can modify the data, and then we have printed it. Okay, so this is the things guys we have to understand. Okay, so as of now we have understood getting class information, getting constructor method fields, creating an instance, invoking a method, accessor field, modify it also. Okay, so I hope you understood all those things in the better way, and I will give you this example. Okay, you can do your own and try to identify what is the issue and how you can do it. Okay, and this is also very simple example, which is a reflection API. You have to get the constructor, same thing, and you have to call and invoke the method. So for your practice I have given this slide. Okay, thank you so much.